The medical field is rampant with demonic activity.
Kidneys were diverted from poor patients at Parkland Health and instead given to wealthier patients at UT Southwestern. I have never, in all of my years in healthcare, heard a more damning condemnation of where our system currently lies. Because you know damn well this isn't just about class. This is also a deeply, deeply issue. Because Parkland Health, as you guessed it, serves primarily Black and Latino communities. And the wealthier hospitals that these organs were being diverted to serve primarily white communities.
So I'm a travel nurse, and I took a new contract. I was finishing out my last one in this place. I'm just gonna come straight out and tell you, this place is filled with demonic activity. I can't even tell you.
Now, even though I'm personally not religious and don't believe in demons, I don't think there is any other word strong enough to connote just how evil some people are in the medical industry. So I cannot help but agree with the caption on this video, because some of them people out there really be acting like quote unquote demons. Like this nurse, for example, who some time back made a video where she was allegedly bragging about how she denies her sickle cell patients their pain medication. And it's thanks to this sister by the name APRNBeauty_81 on TikTok that we still have evidence for this video, because outside of her page, I can't seem to be able to find it.
What up, Nurse Gang? What up, TikTok? So, I really, it breaks my heart when I gotta make videos like this, and it breaks my heart when I see this. You know, people usually hide when they're, you know, in healthcare, but when they just jump right out with it, it's just so disgusting. A medical student, a med student, not even a nurse, a med student, actually, not a Black med student either, sent me this, and they were mortified. They said they saw this and they were, you know, they couldn't believe what they saw. This is a nurse, travel nurse, so she says. I mean, nowadays you never know on the internet, but mocking sickle cell patients. Jackson, Mississippi. I can't handle that level of reason that go on down there. Jackson, Mississippi, when they don't get their dilaudid, and she's showing how she says bye to them. We're going to watch the video. And sickle cell is a debilitating disease. Debilitating. Sickle cell patients often say that they get discriminated against when they go into hospitals trying to get medicated. It's disgusting. And to see a nurse flat out online saying how she dismisses them when they don't get their dilaudid. Wow. Wow. And then I happen to go to her page and scroll down and see she says, oh, you know, I'm a Trump supporter. I can't wait till Trump gets reelected so he can give us epic nationally. When I get on this internet and I say nurses should never be for Trump, nurses being for Trump are dangerous, this is what I mean. This is what I mean.
You goddamn wish you would have played your cards right with me. I will see you in hell, you asshole, you liar, you manipulator. You goddamn wish you would have played your cards right with me. I will see you in hell, you asshole, you liar, you manipulator.
The comments. Another person chuckles and says, truth. Must be a nurse. And she said, every day. When President Trump gets reelected, I just have one request. Yeah, I'm going to need TikTok to do its thing. We need to know where she's working. She's dangerous to patients. TikTok, do your thing. I'm certain someone will let me know where she's working. This is disgusting. People like this should not be in healthcare. You're dangerous. Withholding pain meds from people with sickle cell. What else are you doing? You're dangerous. And I think Jackson, Mississippi is a a black, more African American population out there. She got to go.
So after this sister made this video calling her out for this sickening behavior, other people joined in as well, calling her out and dragging her for filth. And of course, when that happened, she started backtracking, talking about how that's not what she said. She was taken out of context.
You would be correct. That is gross. And I have never denied any sickle cell patients their medication. If you guys haven't figured out, I'm a nurse. And so when a doctor orders pain medication, I give it to the patient because I am the nurse, and that is not up to me. So no, I have never denied sickle cell patients their medication. If you're new here, someone took one of my videos way out of context and I think put the mafia out after me today.
Now, maybe I'm reaching here, but her response to why she doesn't deny pain medication to her sickle cell patients was, I don't know, it's just weird because she did not say she doesn't deny her patients because that's not something that she would do. That's not right. That's not in her character. That's wrong. She says she doesn't deny because she's a nurse. She has to follow the doctor's orders. And to me, that's just like a very interesting response. And when I add the fact that she's smiling in this video, well, I don't know about any other person, but if I'm being accused of saying that I do something as heinous as denying a sickle cell patient or any patient for that matter their medication, but I did not do that, I'm not sure I'm going to be laughing about it. So when I think about this situation from that perspective, this smile she has plastered on her face just become weird to me. Like, what's so funny?
I had mentioned how in Jackson, Mississippi, sickle cell patients ask for Dilaudid. And a lot of them need pain medications and need Dilaudid because they have a very painful disease. But there are also a lot of patients who abuse this. And if you've worked in any type of city, like Jackson, where there's a lot of sickle cell patients, you know what I'm talking about. This becomes a problem, and it makes it hard to treat people who are actually in pain. Sickle cell, other people with chronic illnesses, and it really puts a weight on healthcare workers in the healthcare system. Now, there are lots of places for sickle cell patients to get their pain medications. There's pain clinics, but sometimes people take advantage of that, and that becomes a problem for everybody, for themselves too. I never meant for that video to be taken out of context, but this is TikTok, and that does happen. It was taken out of context. I love being a nurse, and I love helping people, otherwise I wouldn't do it. I just don't like when people abuse the system. A lot of nurses don't. It makes it very hard for us to treat people who actually need help.
Quick question, madam. So are you saying that this is the reason why you maybe sometimes deny them their medication because you think that they may be abusing the system by pretending to be in pain so they can get more medication to abuse? Is that what you are saying? For clarity's sake, I'm asking. Because that's what I'm kind of hearing. That this right here is some kind of justification for why you allegedly denying them their medication. And when I think about the fact that it's usually, for the most part, Black people and other people of color like Asians, Middle Easterners, Hispanics, they are the ones that you find that sickle cell traits more in. And then you factor in the kind of worlds that we live in with the whole racial thing that we unfortunately have going on. All I want to do is scream, Madam, I use whatever it is that you believe in or worship to beg you to please give those people their meds. Because the pain that they unfortunately have to deal with, like, I don't know if we can begin to imagine it. I've not met anyone in real life who has sickle cell, but I've seen people online speak about this pain. You would even see them crying, and you can feel the pain from the scream. So to find out that there are people out here who are possibly denying these people medication to relieve them of their pain, to help make their situation better, it really is heartbreaking. But anyways, even after dropping this video, people were not buying it. They were still like majorly side-eyeing her and talking about how they don't trust her one bit. And at some point, I'm not sure if it was before or after this particular video, but she made another video basically playing victim.
What's up, nurse gang? I hate that I have to make this video, but I'm going to keep it short and sweet. You can read this for yourself. APRN Beauty created a video the other day, and it is causing so much bullying and harassment, which I can take, but now my friends and followers are starting to receive bullying and harassment like this for something they're not even involved in, and it's truly disgusting. I have respectfully asked APRN Beauty to remove that video so we can stop this harassment, but she will not take it down. She claims I'm lying about the harassment. Go to my page. You won't see anything in the comments. They're filtered because...
Oh, so now you need help? You mean like when your sickle cell patients needed help, when they needed pain medicine and you were refusing to give them their pain medicine? You mean like that? Now you need help to stop bullying? Do you even understand the ramifications of being in the sickle cell crisis and what that can do to somebody's body? Like, do you even understand that? You're a travel nurse and you are not giving these people their pain medicine? Sickle cell patients? I don't think do you even grasp how sick that is? I would think you would know this already, being that you are a travel nurse or you claim to be a travel nurse, but I would think that you would know when you don't treat sickle cell pain, it can cause more sickling of the cells, of the red blood cells, more sickling. And you know what more sickling leads to, right? More blocked blood vessels. They're having the pain in the first place because they have sickling of their blood cells and it's blocking a blood vessel. If you have a blocked blood vessel, what are you going to end up with? If you're blocking major blood vessels, what are you going to end up with? You can end up with a stroke or you can end up with a heart attack, right? You know that, right? I would think that you would know that. If you are who you are claiming to be, I would think you would know that. And you wouldn't have the audacity, the unmitigated gall to deny these people their pain medicine when they need their pain medicine. I would think you would know that. And you don't need to be anybody's nurse, let alone anybody's travel nurse, because that is insane. That's wild. And I want y'all to take a wild guess of who sickle cell mainly affects. I want y'all to take a wild guess.
Like I have said many times on here, but just to put it on here one more time, I am not someone who condones online bullying or would support any kind of sending threat to people. So I am not in support of the people who did this to her or the people out there who do this to anybody. I think that there are better ways that we can go about addressing these issues. So after the situation went down the way it did, she either took down her page or her page got taken down because we've not seen her break light since on TikTok. And that's maybe for the better. Hopefully she's out there becoming a better person for all our sakes. And now fast forward to the next woman that do need to do better and be a better human being. Massive trigger warning for the video you're about to see next because this video broke me. I thought long and hard as to whether or not I should let this video play in this video because it was just so much pain that the woman in the wheelchair was experiencing in the video because she's in labor, by the way, guys. And she was in a very vulnerable position and she wasn't being attended to like she needed to be attended to, given how dire the situation that she was in was, right? So I was thinking, because she's in this vulnerable state, I'm not sure if I should put the video on here. But then again, you know, it was her mother who posted the video and I'm guessing with her consent. So for educational purposes, I think more people need to see this so people can really see exactly what kind of a world we live in.
Fuck! When's your due date? Ah, right now! Is your due date 11? Ah! What? How many times have you been pregnant? 3! This is your 3rd pregnancy? Yes! You have 2 babies at home? It's in my ass! You have 2 babies at home? Who's your doctor?
Lang is her doctor.
Y'all treat all your patients like this or just the black ones?
Okay, this is the first time patient for you. Alright, last name is Jones. She's G3B2. I'm not sure what her due date is.
Her due date is the 10th.
It was the 10th. I think her due date is the 10th.
She had 3 pregnancies, 2 babies at home. I bet y'all listen next time. When you found out you was delivering at this hospital, your ass should have changed doctors. Everybody say how they treat people here.
Ma'am? Yes. Are you able to call the anesthesiologist? Someone is coming to take you to labor and delivery. That's not what I asked. I cannot help.
This is the world we live in. This woman is in labor, in serious pain, but they could not give a damn. The most important thing to them was to be punching on a computer, because that cannot be done later. Like priorities. Like pregnancy and labor is not a joke. In my humble opinion, is the most scariest thing that a woman can be going through. Like, this is a very sensitive time she's in. Anything could literally go wrong. So this is not a time to be ignoring somebody or wasting time and doing unnecessary things. And they know this because these are health professionals. She's in a hospital. There are doctors there. There are nurses. But these people ignored her like this and prioritize punching on a computer. So her mom made a follow-up video sharing how everything went down. Check the video out. I'll meet you guys after.
Hello, TikTok family. This is a follow-up on the video that I posted earlier. So I was at work. I had no idea of the activity that was going on. My daughter's texting me, calling me. I didn't know what was going on. So finally I get home, they tell me about the video, and a lot of you was asking about a follow-up and to explain the situation. So this is the situation. My daughter went into active labor at home. We took her to the hospital. She called ahead of time, so we know they are expecting us. However, we get there to the emergency room. We watching nurses, putting gloves on, running to the door. They get outside of the door, and I drive a black SUV, and they look at my vehicle, and one of the nurses come up to the window, and she goes, I'm sorry, this is for ambulance only. I said, well, my daughter is in active labor. And she was like, okay, she said, but you're going to have to go to the front. I'm like, I have to drive to the front. And they said, yeah, you have to drive to the front. Okay, another redhead. And so I'm like, so she's in the, you hear, and it was like, yeah, she started bagging up, hit the button, went back inside the building. So I go around to the front. I get out of the car. Again, this girl is in more pain now than she was when we first left the house. And she started saying, I feel pressure, I feel pressure. I said, take deep breaths. I ran in. I said, hey, my daughter's in the car. I went to emergency. They told me I had to come to the front. So the lady was like, what's your daughter's name? Told her Kiara Jones. She gets out some paperwork, started typing in the name. I was like, ma'am, do you have a wheelchair or anything? She's in the car. I need to get her in. Oh, if you check on the other side of those doors where the vending machine's at, there should be a wheelchair out there. There's no wheelchair out there. So she gets up, she walks in the back, and she come to the door with a wheelchair. She said, here you go, ma'am. I said, excuse me, you're not going to come with me? And she was like, no. Oh, okay. So, a police officer was in the lobby. He gets up. He grabbed a wheelchair. He goes out the door with me. He said, come on, I got you. Went out there. She is on hands and knees in the back of the vehicle. And I'm like, oh, shit, what is going on? And then she goes, it's in my ass. And I was like, what? And the guy was like, and she was like, he said, okay. She was like, give me a minute. She could not move. So when that contraction eased, we put her in a wheelchair. He said, you can go park your car, because they, again, had, people out there. So I went park my car. It wasn't even 30 seconds. I run back in the building. She's just there with a stack of papers in her hand, screaming that this baby is coming. This baby is coming. I look at the registers behind the window, and they looking at me, and they was like, well, we can't do anything until she signed the papers. Are you fucking kidding me? So I grabbed the papers, and of course, it's all ER bullshit that they have. And I was like, you want her to sign this, and she's in active labor. And they was like, okay. I was like, ma'am, she was supposed to be induced earlier today at 8 o'clock. And they called and told her that they would call her because they didn't have beds. And they would let her know. And no one ever called back. They called back every hour on an hour. And they was like, no, we'll call you back. And then finally, her water break, she called them. They tell her to come in. So why is she signing these papers? We need her in labor and delivery. And it was like, ma'am, I'm sorry. So the charge nurse comes out. And she saw the paper signed. What fucking, are you serious right now? And she closes the door. And then the lady behind the window, at this point, my daughter, scribbled her name on all the papers. We gave it to her. She says, thank you. She walked it around to the charge nurse. She opened up the door. My daughter is literally like having a contraction. And she's just standing there in the door. So we push her into the door. I said, can we get her into labor and delivery? She said, no, we have to fill out all this paperwork. I have to do the paperwork and get her a band before we can send her upstairs. So that was the video that you guys saw that I initially posted. So the next video that has no picture on it was when I was pushing her in and we was at the window, because they asked me to move her from the window so they can take care of the guests or, patients that was coming in and out. Do not go to this hospital. This hospital is ghetto as hell. They do not care about Black women or their babies. This is crazy. I read about stuff like this all the time, but to see this firsthand, this lady did not care, none of them. It wasn't until we got into labor and delivery where we saw an ounce of care or sympathy for her. Before then, they can care less. She did not care if she gave birth in that wheelchair. That was not her problem or her concern.
I don't know, but this is definitely a situation one should sue for. One should be able to sue for this because the hospital were basically risking her life with what they did, the way they acted. They literally put her and her baby in grave danger. If this were me, I'm definitely suing because, like, what's the actual hell? What's the actual hell? You guys are supposed to be an institution that care about people and their well-being, that help people. But look at the way they acted. Absolutely disgusting. This is appalling. This is what people mean when they say that the medical institution or the medical field is full of demonic activities. This right here is what they mean, because how else are you supposed to describe this behavior? Wickedness to levels that should not be humanly possible. But here we are. Thankfully, mom and baby are okay as they can be given all that they've been through, because the stress did affect the baby a little bit, and grandmom shared more on that in this video.
Hey guys, I'm here with mom and baby Cash. They are doing well. He has a doctor's appointment tomorrow at the pediatric center. It's a lot of concerns. They taking tests on him. He still have to go through several other tests down the line because he was born with his eyes open, and due to the stress and trauma that occurred in the triage area, the baby had a bowel movement in mom, and the fluids was green, and like I said, he born with his eyes open. So they are, taking all that in consideration as well. But he's eating well, sleeping well, looking good. And I was also reading a lot of the comments, and some of you under the impression it was twins. They are not twins. This is daughter with baby Cash, and this is other daughter with baby DJ. They are a month apart. DJ born 10/10 and KJ born 11/11. Thank you again for your support and your concerns, and we will most definitely keep you updated.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed, guys. I hope there's no major complications and that mama and baby can 100% recover from this. And by this, I mean the stress and the trauma of all that they unfortunately were forced to endure in that hospital. Like, major eye rolls. I'm so pissed, guys. Like, this is so freaking annoying when you see stuff that it's avoidable. It should not be happening to begin with. Like, common human decency, common sense, just like, having feelings, empathy. Where did empathy go? Where like, it's just so crazy when you see situations like this happen. I'm like, even some animals know better than to act like this, but then you see human beings treating fellow human beings in this manner. It's appalling, it's disgusting. Like, this is a major sickness. It's so unfortunate that we have to share a planet with people like this. And apparently, evils like this happens a lot in Dallas, because I came by a video from a creator a couple of days ago where she was talking about how
hospitals in Dallas are being accused of keeping kidneys, like kidney transplants, from poorer patients and instead giving those same kidneys to wealthy patients. A whistleblower lawsuit alleges that kidneys were diverted from poor patients at Parkland Health and instead given to wealthier patients at UT Southwestern. The whistleblower was quite literally their transplant director, their transplant coordinator, the person overseeing all of the organ transplants at the facility. And he documented 36 different cases in the span of 1 year where kidneys were deemed not up to quality for transplant into poorer patients at Parkland Health. But then those exact same kidneys that didn't meet the quality standards were then transplanted into patients in a wealthier hospital. Little bit of background, almost every single kidney transplant, including like any organ transplant in the United States, is funded by Medicaid. So what this lawsuit is alleging is that organ procurement groups and the hospitals themselves were prioritizing wealthier patients over patients whose treatments would be reimbursed by Medicaid. They are quite literally choosing who lives and who dies based on how much money you have. I have never, in all of my years in healthcare, heard a more damning condemnation of where our system currently lies. Because you know damn well this isn't just about class. This is also a deeply, deeply racist issue. Because Parkland Health, as you guessed it, serves primarily Black and Latino communities. And the wealthier hospitals that these organs were being diverted to serve primarily white communities. This is so dark. This is so dark. And if there are any updates on this case, I will bring them to you. But everyone actually involved in this. Everyone that had their hands in this at all. And this is not legal advice, but if you were a patient at Parkland Health in Dallas and you needed an organ transplant, and you were denied for any reason, you should call a lawyer and you should look into the medical history of that case, because this is highly suspicious.
So it seems a lot of not so good things are happening in Dallas, but it's Earth we're talking about, right? And it's 2025, so we should know better than to think that all of these things are happening only in Dallas. I would not doubt if someone were to come and tell me that stuff like this is happening in my country as well, quite frankly, because when it comes to humans, regardless of their location, you not get waiting some of them not fit do. Sick individuals like this exist worldwide. People who really don't care about their oaths to preserve life and take care of people. People who only went into the industry either because of the money that they are going to get from it, or because they just like the ego boost that comes with being able to say and be seen as a doctor or a nurse in society, and that makes them feel a certain way. It's an industry that I am strongly of the opinion that a lot of narcissistic individuals get into, because this industry affords them the opportunity to be able to be in control of people, decide whether they get certain things, and it's an industry that comes with a level of power and control. And narcissistic individuals, we know how they really like power and control. And no, this is not me saying everybody in the industry is like that, right? I'm saying that narcissistic individuals gravitate towards the medical industry because of these things that I've mentioned. Are they people who are there because they are nice people and they really want to help their communities and make people feel better and nurse people to health and treat them and all of those good stuff? Yes, but there's always the other aspects to everything, right? And this is not me saying that, oh, it's only the medical industry that you will find bad people like this. No, they are in every sector, but the topic at hand. But just to be clear, the demonic activities here that we're going to be looking at in this video, it's not solely about the characters of people and how they are denying their patients medication or unaliving their patients or newborn babies or injecting people with stuff or doing stuff to them when they are under. It's not that alone. There are so other many things that are happening in the medical field that is like really major side eye. I'm not a religious person, so I don't believe in hell or heaven, but sometimes when I look at some people with the way they act, I'm like, you definitely deserve to burn for all eternity. Like not too long ago, I was having a conversation with a nutritionist, and he told me some things which I think I shared in one video already that I posted on here, talking about how in the industry they recommend drugs to people that people don't need, also they can make a profit, recommend surgical operations for people that these people don't need, also they can make a profit. He used cesarean operation as an example. He said there are hospitals who are making women give birth through CS that they don't need, because these women can actually birth the babies naturally, so they don't need that assistance to birth their baby, right? But they recommend these surgeries for these women, CS operation, so they can make money, because CS birth is more expensive than natural birth, right? So it's like little things that they do, among some other things that he shared with me that still keeps me up at night. Those are, yes, for sure, demonic activities. And that brings us to the video that you guys saw a glimpse of at the beginning of this video. I've had this video saved on my phone since May this year. That's like 6 months now. And the video just became very relevant today, seeing the topic that we have at hand. So I thought I should incorporate it into this video. So now I'm just going to let the clip roll.
So I'm a travel nurse, and I've been doing a lot of traveling, nursing for a couple of years now. And I took a new contract. I was finishing out my last one, and I took a new one because I make 6 figures easy, because I've got all the experience that I can go into any place and work. And the contract that I took is up north. I just got finished settling everything and transferring and stuff and everything. It's taken a lot of time. But this new place, I don't name places and put them on blast or anything, because I know that people will end up, people, I don't want to get fired or, you know, DNR'd or whatever. God told me to do this. You know, I always talk to God first. I run everything through God, you know, ask him, pray, and, you know, what he wants me to do, what decision he, you know, where he wants me to go. And he's not sending me to some of the most ridiculous places, and this place, I'm just gonna come straight out and tell you, this place is filled with demonic activity. I can't even tell you. I've been learning, you know, I've been in nursing and medical field since the early 90s, and I always knew that there was a lot of spiritual stuff going on, good and bad, but this place, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a portal to hell here. I can't get into details. I can't, you know.
You can see that this woman has so much she wants to say, but she can't even say it. This place, this place, this place. Now she can't even mention the place. And who knows really what is happening if she's saying that she won't be surprised that there is a portal in this place that links to hell or leads to hell. It just speaks to the volume of how much wickedness and evil is going on there. But she can't even speak and share with the public and deter people from going there because of contracts, right? It's like at the end of the day, the oath that they swore is not even that important. The contract is more important than the oaths. And no, this is not me attacking this woman. I'm speaking as a collective because this is a global problem. And some people might in the moment be saying, okay, why not leave? If the place is that bad, what is she doing there? She's probably maybe doing this just for the money, but that might not really be the case. She just might be there because she's trying to be at least that, you know, little drop of good that place needs.
But you know, the name of Jesus really, I just can't even some of the staff that don't even believe, you know, aren't Christians, aren't practicing Christians or whatever, believe that some of these people are straight up possessed and demonic. And the ones that I've had to deal with, I've had to come straight out and handle business and use the name of Jesus, rebuke them. And I'm going to tell you what, they shut right down. When they wouldn't listen to nobody else, when they were cussing people out, threatening, saying the most horrific things, they shut right down. But they don't like me at all. They will go right back to their rooms when I rebuke them. And I'm kind about it, but I'm stern. I know who I am, and I know Jesus, you know, gave us the power to do this. I've prayed over people, and in the name of Jesus, and they've been healed. I have the one lady this one lady is really in bad. When she knows that I'm coming, or she knows that I'm on the floor, they know. It's really weird. They automatically know, and they straight come out of their rooms and come to bother me. Just come. A couple of them come straight out and start cussing me out. Don't even do anything. I'm never unkind. You know. I remember, got to be, you know, love of Christ and everything, and compassionate. But I had to shut her down right off the bat. And boy, that woman turned around and go right back to her room, and I rebuked her. The devil. These people are, they're being overtaken, and it's going more. You're going to see more and more of this, and it's becoming predominant, really bad nowadays, because the devil knows he's got a short time, and he's just taking over people. This woman was seeing things, you know, in her coming in her room and everything, and I just said, I'm just going to go there and take. I'm going to, you know, the foul language that's coming out of this, and she's with it. This is the thing that's I notice about these people. A lot of them, they're not like out of their mind. They know where they're at and everything. I finally went to her room, put my hand on the door, I prayed, and I had to go through that whole floor. I did the whole floor because the whole floor was in chaos. Didn't hear another peep from her the rest of the night. And even one of the staff member goes, you know, I can't believe, you know, you just did that and it all stopped. This woman doesn't need to stop.
I'm just here wondering if this woman could share all of the things that it seems she really wants to share. I wonder what those things would be. And who knows, I could be wrong about this woman. It just might be someone who's, some people might say she's in religious psychosis or experiencing religious psychosis. But regardless, the fact still remains the same. There are crazy things that's happening in the medical industry and changes needs to be made. It's a problem what's happening. Very quickly, before rounding up this video, I want to circle back to this sister. I hope that her and her baby turn out okay, and I hope everything ends up fine for her and her family. I wish they can get some kind of compensation for all that they've been through, and if there is a way for them to, I hope that they would pursue it. Because what the hospital did, what that woman on the desk punching the computer did, and what the other staffs that were supposed to make sure that she was well attended to and taken care of, but did not do, definitely is supposed to fall under some kind of malpractice or something. So yeah, I do hope that the hospital and all them people that were responsible for the pain and the trauma that she experienced, I hope that they are held responsible for this. I am going to be keeping an eye on this case. If there are any updates, I'll be sure to let you guys know.
It's normal for them to get the paperwork and get all of your, history and stuff in the computer. What's not normal is the demeanor and the attitude that the nurse had towards her. There was no type of comforting words. There was no acknowledgement. I'm more disgusted by the behavior of the nurse, not the whole intake process. What pisses me off is that she's clearly in a lot of pain. She's in discomfort. Things could have been handled differently. If you're going into the hospital like that, you're screaming in pain, they need to be handling it differently. And no one else was in that room doing anything. That nurse was sitting there calling doctor's offices or whatever, but there was no sense of urgency. And I'm sorry, but giving birth is like life and death, okay? Unfortunately, I know of a mom who got septic and passed away right after she gave birth. I think we forget that even though you're in a hospital setting, it is still extremely dangerous and things can go wrong. There should have been some kind of sense of urgency, empathy, sympathy, something from the nurse. I don't care that we're overworked or whatever. That doesn't mean that you deserve bad care.
But yeah, that's the video, guys. Let me know down below in the comment section what your thoughts are. Thank you very much for watching. And of course, as always, I'll be catching you in the next one.
I need somebody to figure out who this bitch is. We're going to figure it out. I'm not worried we're going to find her. But when we do, losing her license ain't going to be enough. Losing her job ain't going to be enough. The punishment better fit the crime.